Plan C, quick update on the old Tricopter, which is now up and running. A couple of tips and mods. First, the tail mech, high tech 82 Metal Gear servo analog, connected to D2 on the board. Beefed up the servo horn with a proper composite part. I want to cut it down. And then I've put, I don't even know what these are called, but washer, and these metal things that can spin round, one on each side. I then bored it a little bit out of the block, sleeved it, some plastic sleeving, and used servo rods bent like an S shape, well not an S shape but back to about there. Use short screws so they don't interfere with that on the motor mount, so that goes back to about there, all the way along, up, bent the tops over both sides, so that is a nice smooth mechanism and there's no slop in it at all. Cheap servo, cheap mech, but works very well. Corrosion text all the ESCs, I've showed you how to do that. I corrosion text the UBEX, one for the tail servo and one for the board. I've showed you how to do that, dedicated power supply to the board. Corrosion text the receiver, corrosion text the video transmitter, and I've also stripped off most of the, this is a Boss Cam transmitter, stripped off. It used to be basically surrounded with heat shrink, stripped that off, and I've added a couple of heat sinks because it gets really hot, ram heat sinks, and then basically plastic dipped them on so they don't come off. Plastic dip will more or less get to boiling point, so you don't have to worry about that. I've made the cloverleaf antenna, ping pong ball, and bottom of a ring binder, and hot glue for protective surface. A lid of a Johnson's baby bud carrier, deformed with a hairdryer, and by basically heating it up and pushing it down over something that will bend it. This used to have straws going across the top, which I just cut down, hot glued there, drilled in, hot glued there. This is strong and completely independent of anything touching the board. The board itself is held on a balsa block. The reason for that is to try and get it as far away from EMF or EMI as possible, because it hasn't got a separate mag. The mag's on the board, so I'm trying to keep the mag as far away from heavy gauge wiring as I can. So the board is, you got under here, you got two-face taped Velcro onto a balsa block, skinned so it can't touch the frame anywhere around, and all the way around silverfane gel, and then the board, which is under there, is actually on two-face tape and silverfane, and then the GPS is on top of that, but the whole middle bit is completely independent of that. And then bodge job around it, try and keep it as water resistant as possible. That's just electrical tape with hot glue. It works okay. It's not supposed to be waterproof, it's just supposed to be able to take a little bit of abuse, and that works well. The Bluetooth module's in the back there, in the back, and taped to the balsa block. We got a Boss Cam HD19, not a great camera, not bad. Not as good as a Sony cam, but it's okay. It's not as good as a GoPro, but it's okay. It's a bit of a test rig. Whoa, nearly. It's just zip tied round and then two-face tape Velcro underneath. See how that goes. I showed you how to do that, which is the Minim OSD. One thing to note, there's 6 pins, I only use the middle 4. Blue, white, red, black, right to left on the 5V input side. These pins will take the voltage from the battery, which is here, and you want to use it back to, which is 3 and 4. On the other one I just taped a bit of red tape, and then so I can see which one's which. These two I think are current and these two are RSSI, but that all works. Other things with a zip tie landing gear which have worked out really well. Other things, keeping a 90-degree splay as best I can between the diversity antenna on the Vice Guy. The only other thing is I had to do was to use the Multiwii comp to center the servo live, and to do that I've sealed it up now pretty much, but do the thing I did with the compass mot on the APM, which is to use a USB cable with the 5V red cable cut, and that way you can power the board up and all the motors up and still plug it into the computer and not double feed the board. And then you go on to settings, click servo, and you can literally set the middle of the and the endpoints of the tail servo live. That's pretty much it. So pretty happy with the Multiwii board. I like the way it folds up. Thanks Matt Hall. It's a good design. I'll see you all later. Cheers, bye.